What is that outfit?
Oh, this outfit right here.
What is it? It's like 80s prom realness. What?
Like just
Oh my God.
trying just a little bit too hard or just enough, am I right?
Here's the thing. I feel like last week it was very like neon tetra fish. This is still giving me like different fish vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a different fish in the tank.
She is. She's definitely. I would totally buy her and bring her home. Amazing.
Do you want to see the whole wiggle?
I do. Yes.
The little wiggle?
Yes and. Oh
So
my God!
this
If I
is-
didn't, what would happen?
So I got this
Look
on.
at that.
So I got this on a stripper website, if you can imagine that.
Like you do.
And it's very scuba. It's kind of a scuba sort of knit.
Yes, it's like scuba prom.
Yeah, scuba prom, which is also very fish themed, very aquatic.
Yes. Girl, you have introduced me to stripper websites, and I get so many nylons and tights on there.
We love to see it.
They're so durable. Like, not that I'm doing anything that's like, I'm not mountain climbing in them, but like, you know, when you were out to dinner in 2019 and it was like, oh my God, it snags on a chair.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, there goes $28. Like, no. This is 3 for $18, and you could literally run a cheese grater up and down your calf, and the cheese grater breaks. The types are like, what do you need? Like, they're awesome. Anyways. Team sex work.
It's also very sassy, like, you know, prelude, like, oh no, there's a run in my tights. You know what I mean? And you just like draw way too much attention to it. And then you would just end up looking really weird, and they're like, check, please.
Right, exactly. And now you're just like, there's no runs in my tights, girl. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Which is probably also why I didn't get dates, because of that voice. Anyways, how is your week going, you elegant pufferfish?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for noticing. No.
Thank you for noticing.
By the way, don't ever take it from us. Don't ever use that line at a date.
No. I mean, any of our lines. Don't use any of our lines on a date, I think is the rule.
Girl, this week, so we have an epic storm going down in Columbus, Ohio right now.
Well, that's what I hear.
We have a snowstorm for Columbus. Boop, for Columbus, right? So like for the East Coast, they're laughing. You know what I mean? Like, this is nothing.
Okay.
But for us, this is like the car, like in Columbus, Ohio. I mean, we used to get snow, I feel like, back in the day, because I grew up here, so I remember when we used to get snow like this on the regular, but it's been a few years. So, like, if you can't see, if there's a ½ inch of snow obscuring your car, you're like, where is it? I can't find it. You know what I mean? Like, the landscape is gone, you know?
I will say the last few years have been pretty mild. Like, and I think that's the thing, is now there's like this reverb, like moving from Buffalo and New York, it was like very, like, oh, wow, this is nothing. But I don't think it really is anything. It's still tough if no one's plowing and salting. Like, it actually doesn't matter how much is on the road if, like, the city doesn't take care of it. Well, it's like the most dad conversation we're going to have. I
know, right? How can you believe that snow? But Anastasia points out, yes, it is about 4 inches. Yes, it's not just 1 inch. It's like we had a level 1 snow emergency, you know?
Oopsie-Coupsie.
But it wasn't, they said there was going to be like 8 to 12 inches or something crazy. And as we know, that didn't exactly pan out. But
even when they say 8 to 12 inches, they never mean it, girl.
Whatever could you be implying?
Snow. And dicks. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Show me that Monster Energy drink. Oh,
Yikes.
Anyway.
Okay. I'm glad you're safe. Everyone good in your circle?
Yeah, everyone's fine. They decided to close campus yesterday and today, and I think a lot of schools were closed, so we're trying to stay safe. There is a chill. There's a chill in the air, so if you do go outside, you're going to want to layer. You know me,
This is the layer.
I want to layer. You know, there's lots going on under here.
I would love it if you just tied like a little scarf, like what is her name in? Oh my God, what is the woman's name in Greece? Cha-Cha? When she has that little scarf.
Cha-Cha or Frenchie? Didn't Frenchie have the little ascot?
So Cha-Cha is the one Danny Zuko brings to the dance instead of Sandy, right? Because they have a fight.
Yeah.
Because he tries to sexually assault her at a drive-in, and then he sings a song about how sad he should be about it, and then we all empathize with him.
Girl, let me tell you, the level of gay, the level of gay that I am is I start the movie, I fast forward to Beauty School Dropout, then I fast forward again until we go together, which, yes, is the end of the movie.
Really? You skip over? Oh, no, you cannot skip over There Are Worse Things I Could Do.
Oh, true.
Ballad is like
Lit.
side piece goals.
It's lit.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So good. Well, we have a lot to cover today. Yeah. We're going to do a quick dish because I did the dish this week and it is negative on the complicated.
Yes.
I wanted to do something.
I cannot wait to see it.
All of you people, including me, people who don't eat meat.
So right now we have the ingredients up first. So tell us a little bit about what went into it. Tell us a little bit more about the journey, the story.
The journey. So I was paleo in law school because I didn't want any friends. And then I also then cut out meat on top of that. So it just kind of became generally plant-based because I wanted to introduce more grains like quinoa and farro back into my diet that wasn't part of the paleo diet. So paleo is just like no dairy, no grains, no bread, no fun. Yeah,
it was a weird 2 weeks when we weren't hanging out and you were just like, go crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
Chewing on my own leg. Yeah.
No,
so
actually,
paleo.
I did a whole 30 because you had that Nom Nom Paleo book.
Oh, it's such a good book.
Yeah, it's a great cookbook.
Such a good book. And you know what I like about Nom Nom Paleo and a lot of those books is you can really they really just teach you how to cook. They teach you how to cook regardless. You know what I mean? So yeah. I started doing a lot of things replacing chickpeas with meat or black beans with meat. So I did a funa salad for you.
Funa salad. Pop that up. There it is. And the difficulty. So Brooke told me to do -1 thinking emojis, but I told her that would break the scale. So we compromised and I did 1 thinking emojis out of 5.
It's so easy. So you mash up a bunch of chickpeas and you put with it whatever you'd put in tuna salad. But I'm ready for the comments. I'm ready for the cancellation of me. I am team pickle, and this is the hill I will die on.
Hey, girl, I did a molded egg salad, so you're good. I did.
Saying, what do you put in your? Do you put pickles in your tuna salad, Eileen? And what kind of pickles do you put in?
I don't put pickles in my. No.
What do you put in your tuna salad?
I'm boring, girl. I hate to drop the curtain, the fantasy. But
yes. Oh,
clock my pickle fantasy.
That is.
But I'm a white onion and celery kind of tuna salad girl.
Damn, you think you know someone.
I know. Anyway. Well, anyway, girl, you are on the dish cam, so give us the full unadulterated realness.
Okay, so this is a Williams-Sonoma plate.
Beautiful.
From my boss.
I remember from the hot dog weenie salad.
Yes, it's very fancy. I get out my fancy plates. And then I always serve it with, sometimes on a bed of dressed arugula with a little homemade balsamic vinaigrette, but I was out of arugula because I also had this for lunch. So, okay. I just
hold it up a little bit closer. See if you can get the camera to kind of focus on it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, there she is.
There she is.
Yeah, do that makeup tutorial thing where you're like, and today I'm going to be using shade 305 in Shattered Dreams.
I'm using a Haas avocado on my face. And so I do mayo, and you can buy vegan mayo if you're not doing eggs, so shout outs. And then Dijon. And here's the trick, I do a little tahini.
Ooh, I love tahini. Just to give it a little zing.
Just a little bit, a little more depth. Yeah. A little more depth. And I'm a red onion snob. Yos. Look at how subtly the trans flag. You are the trans flag right now. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
The pink, the purple, and the white.
This outfit really did say trans rights now.
This outfit actually made it legal to be trans.
Yeah.
This is the only thing we needed.
But we'll get to that later.
Anyway. So, and then I did red onion, and then I also am team, nobody cut this out of anything. I'm team nuts. I put walnuts and pecans in like everything I make. So especially when I like switched from paleo to being pretty much like more vegan, I was like, I just need like, where can I find like extra good fats, and nuts were the way to go. So I crushed up some walnuts and we're going to see how it is.
All right. Take a bite. Ow.
I can't chew like Eileen. You could do this to not mess up your makeup.
Girl, it's all glitter and God prayers.
You know, it's good.
Good. It's good.
I think I went light on the Dijon, and I should have gone harder. I can always go harder on Dijon. You know what I mean? I think that's a Vin Diesel quote from Fast and the Furious.
Is it?
You can always go harder on the Dijon.
In the immortal words of Vin Diesel. Vin Q Diesel.
Those movies hold up. Say what you want. Anyways.
He holds up.
He does. Everyone says he's gay. Do you think he's gay?
We all wish.
I know.
We all wish. I think it's just like it's just fan fiction. You know what I mean?
Do you think so? I watched the Fast and the Furious movies imagining he is in a relationship with Paul Walker, the first 5 ones.
Well, girl.
And you know what? It makes the stakes so much higher. We're really good.
Yeah. Well, girl, we're gay, so I mean, we're always looking for queer subtext because it's all we have.
We have nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So it was good. If you want the recipe, message me. I'll send it to you. I kind of made it up.
Yeah. No. Drop the recipe, girl.
Drop the recipe. But it really is so easy. You just mash everything together. It's no cooking.
For a girl on the go. That's what we need.
For a girl on the go with a pickle in her back tooth.
I thought you were going to say a pickle in your purse. Like you just carry a pickle around for luck.
I would love that.
Yeah.
See, I would love a purse pickle. So, what are we talking about today, girl? Tell me everything.
So, this week's topic is a little bit of an extension of last week's. We've been covering non-monogamy, which, as we discovered, surprise, surprise, is a complicated topic. And, in order to fully do it justice, you have to spend more time than a half-hour conversation on a live streaming show. But that's okay, because we're not here to find answers. We're here to ask questions. You know what I mean? So in that spirit, we thought, it's just after Valentine's Day. We thought we would talk about ideas of expansive love and relationships and talk about one of my favorite time-honored traditions, friends with benefits.
I love time-honored traditions. You're like doilies with brunch.
Exactly.
I love that.
Oh.
It is a time-honored tradition. I feel like it's like in the queer community too. It's just like how we find our people. Like there's so many people I know who are best friends who are just like, I'm like, how'd you meet? And they're like, we hooked up or we went on a date.
Yeah.
Because someone like set us up, and sex is just this like thing that happens. Even after it stops, the friendships often continue.
Yeah. And I don't think in that particular way it's unique to straight people, except that when I was first coming out on the scene, queer communities once you find your people, it's an insular group. It's an insular community. Yeah. And so just like testing out the waters, like when I was young, but even pre-transition, I was a little gay twink on the scene, and there was only like 1 or 2 other out people in high school. So it was kind of like, hey, do you want to fool around a little bit? It's like, well, why not? We've run out of Land Before Time movies. Is that what people watch in high school?
They are downers.
They are
downers.
Yeah. I mean, you could only watch those poor little dinosaurs fall off cliffs so many times.
I think that's really interesting because I am someone who I'm going to come out as someone who is not good at friends with benefits.
Oh, say more.
So I am one of those people that catches feelings. And also I don't know how to end it. Like, I'm just like, okay, now what? Are we just not friends? So, like, I either catch feelings, right? Or the other person catches feelings. And then I kind of, like, freeze. And I had one Friends with Bennies situation that was pretty dope. And then what happened was we never had the conversation where, like, he talked to his new person about it. Oh. And that's the other piece of it, right? Which we could talk about. But it's like, okay, like, what are kind of the terms of, hey, like, if we're going to be in the same clique, the same circle, which happens in queer spaces, like, what does your new partner know? What are you like? And again, not that I'm like going around being like, oh my God, like, I don't know. Why did I do that voice? I saw his dick too. I don't know.
Come on, bring me that dick, you see?
But like, what, like, you know, the context of like, she, you know, did she know like how long we've been friends or anything? And like, if you said like, oh no, you know, Brooke is just part of this group. And then I bring up something from before that, like, I need more context because I don't want to blow up anyone's spot. And I'm just trying to like, it is one of those things where I'm like, for me, if I don't catch feelings, it's great. And I'm much better about it now that I'm older, but I also don't, the end is the tricky part for me because I'm like, I never know. And I think it's because also of like the socialization that I had and how I was raised, which was like, you don't talk about your feelings. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I need to get better at talking about my feelings and then saying like, hey, what boundaries do you want to have? Are you going to tell your current partner, your future partner, if I'm going to meet them, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume you haven't.
Right.
But I've been like in a situation where then a woman comes up to me and is like, so I heard you used to hook up with my, you know what I mean? And I'm like, ah!
Yeah,
like,
no one wants to be blindsided by that conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of what happened.
Well, that was a key theme in our discussion of non-monogamy is communication. And communication is also key with friends with benefits, like before, during, and after, right? Because you don't be blindsided by those conversations with people's partners after that. This is not me trying to bring up trans rights. I'm just warm. It's just warm in here.
Just very warm. I'm just warm.
But so you know, everyone is looking for things and people that will help them with their pain. You know what I mean? And everyone's defense mechanisms are a little bit different. So for me, my history was back in the day, I would meet people on the internet. You know, I was very lonely. I was very stifled. So I would go on the internets.com.
/whole life.
Yes. And I would talk to the gentleman. And when you're trans, I will say that you have to get through a lot of initial conversation beforehand about, because people ask you, oh, are you pre-op or post-op? Do you have a penis? What material are you working with? Which by
you have to cover that or you will get murdered.
Die. Yeah. Which, okay, we laugh. It's okay. We could laugh at that because but it's
good. We need to laugh or otherwise we cry.
Yeah, we'd take a power away from the constant danger. You know what I mean? But so you have a lot of very quick conversations, whereas normal people speed datings are like, "Do you like pickles?" Like my speed dating is like, "Hi, here's me. I don't identify as a man or a woman. I'm very femme presenting. I do have male genitalia, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it because." I don't want us to have a surprise later on. And think about this what you will, but people have their preferences where they're like, oh, I'm attracted to women who don't have penises. Or I'm attracted to women who do and who don't have penises. Or I'm attracted, you know what I mean? Like it's a much broader scale than are you attracted to men or women?
Right. And I think we could sit here and judge others and that's really not the point. Like,
exactly.
Look, I don't want to waste my time. And I think
swipe left, that's all it is.
Right. Like I think, you know, in living with you, I think I really kind of came into my own in this front when we lived together. And I think seeing you kind of navigate those discussions in advance, I think was a really good lesson for me because as someone who came out later in life, I was really like working, you know, mostly with men and you don't really get to, we're just not socialized to talk about it. There's just a lot of assumptions.
Yeah.
And I think everyone benefits from talking about it. And it was like, wow, like, yeah, you're really upfront about what we need and want. And I've taken that with me from our time together to be like, hey, like, this is my situation and this is what I'm looking for. And like, hey, I don't really want a relationship, but if you do, like, I look forward to staying connected with you as a friend or whatever it is. You just have to be like so explicit in a way that people, I think, especially the way I came into my sexual self, I was like, that's not sexy. Yeah. That's not what you see in the movies. And that's not what you see in this. And I think there's like more and more of movies like that and media like that. And where we kind of see what that process is. And you were so courageous about it and you had to be so upfront and you were so upfront. And I think it was really inspiring because it's like,
I couldn't have done it without your friendship with us living together because you were like down the hall and I was like, hey, you know, I'm trying to be strong about this. Like, I'm trying not to let it affect me. But like, you know, sometimes you have those conversations that just are kind of like, damn, why does it have to be this hard? You know what I mean?
And I like would tell you like, you know, fuck that dude. Like, because you're so in the thing where you're like, oh, you know what? I do want to answer this question out of respect. And I'm like, read it back to me. Is that a respectful question, or is he a bag of dicks?
Does this seem like a question that is coming from a place of respect? It's like, she doesn't lie. Felicia's watching. Hey, girl. She said this conversation is so deep dish.
It is.
We love a covered dish pun. Yes, queen.
It is, and it's like so much more complicated for trans folks and non-binary folks in this space.
But so I did get some practice having very quick initial conversations, right? Like, do you like onions? No. Do you like pickles? Yes. You know what I mean? And I think I had a lot of questions about intimacy, but what I was trying to link that to is my defense mechanism for me back then was I was afraid of intimacy. So my strategy was like, hey, let me run you through, let me give you the rundown about where I'm at, okay? Right. I'm not looking for a traditional relationship. I'm not looking to form feelings. If either one of us feels like we are forming feelings, we have to talk about it, and that should be the end of it for us. Because that's not what I'm here for, and I want to be really upfront about that. But
I really like that.
I will say the upfrontness works really great in principle or like in theory. But also that's the conversation I had with the man that I am about to have my 10-year anniversary with. So, you know, it's like sometimes feelings just
10
happen.
10 years? Damn.
It's going to be 10 years in like a week.
Oh my God.
10 years in a week. Yeah, I never would have expected that in a million years for a lot of different reasons.
But I think there was a lot of like opportunities to check in. And I think that's the thing. It's like when I've caught feelings or someone else has caught feelings, everyone just kind of like panics. When I catch feelings, I just kind of ghost. I'm just like, ah!
Can I confess something to you in front of everyone?
Confess something, girl.
This is something that you actually know already, but I just feel like I want the whole world to know it. I met the love of my life on a little-known website called daddyhunt.com.
I love that.
So I'm here to tell you, if you don't believe in gay love, listen.
Look at us. Look at the good we do.
Take a good look.
Yo! 80s pufferfish. I love that. I think that's what's so, like, so when I am a wedding officiant, which I'm, like, getting to just do this all the time, and I love it. Even at pandemics, secret weddings, I'm here for y'all. One of the things, I bring my mask. It's in theme with my outfit. One of the things I always ask is, tell me how you met. And like, tell me the real dish, right? Tell me who cheated on who and what happened and how you found each other. And then like, tell me the story, that you want on your, on your official wedding invite. But so many weddings I've done in the last few years, it's just like, hey, we met online, and more folks are not like, but we tell people we went and met at a movie theater or some like ancient thing. Like nobody, first of all, movie theaters are all closed. So
well, we met at the soda shop.
Right. I'm just like, we got a malt together.
We got a malt.
Like, then Fonzie came in and Ralph and Potsy. And I'm just like, no, we could just,
And Conway Twitty was there.
And Red from that 70s show. And I'm like, you're mixing up all your decades.
Yeah.
But like, it is so incredibly common. And I think, especially given the pandemic, the uptick in meeting online, and also like the upfrontness, right? Mm-hmm. So I've done online dating, but I've never really done app dating, and I think the upfrontness of app dating is just like it's in your bio. It's like non-monogamous, queer, looking for this, not this, like, and it's almost a new language. That if you were like out of the scene for a few years and came back into that, it's like, oh my God, this is so revealing. And it's like, yeah, but it's also such a gift.
Well, yeah, you gotta peel those onion layers. If you see a man on Tinder holding a fish, it's a wrap. Move on. I don't get the fish thing. Are you trying to be a provider? Are you trying to show me that you're like Lord of the Animals?
Which also, by the way, that's not the animal that would impress me.
No. The fish wasn't hurting nobody. The fish wasn't doing anything to you.
It would impress me if you were friends with a kangaroo. Those things are violent.
Yeah.
If you can tame a kangaroo or an ostrich, have y'all ever seen an ostrich run?
Oh my God, terrifying.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
They're terrifying. My friend went on a safari in Africa, not like where she killed anything. She just went to see the aliens.
And the aliens.
Because ostriches are aliens. They are terrifying dinosaurs.
That's where they landed.
Intense. They're so scary.
Yeah.
So if you haven't Googled an ostrich run, I'll post it on the feed.
I'll post it on the gram.
Terrifying dinosaur monsters.
Yeah.
If you had an ostrich next to you and you're like, this is my buddy, that would be impressive.
Just palling around with an ostrich.
Not a fucking fish. They're so dumb.
Speaking of palling around with an ostrich, if you would like to find me on any dating apps, then just go to www.sexybetafish.com.
/covered deep dish.
So talking about last time we talked about myths, which I think was really great. And you know what? One big myth for me about friends with benefits is that you cannot have emotional intimacy with the friends with benefits. So let me tell you a little story, which you're very familiar with because this happened when we were living together. There was a little thing. I was dating younger at the time, which I think we can both agree is something that I don't normally do.
No.
Because listen, if you're like 25, like learn how to do your taxes and then call me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't have the time. So I'm tired. I'm like an internet mom at the end of my life. I just need to skip to the good stuff. So this man, I met him at Exile, and he was a bar back at Exile, but identified.
R.I.P.
Oh, R.I.P. Exile, Illy.
Pour one out.
Met him at Exile. He was a bar back and identified as straight, and I was like, straight who? And you work at Exile? I mean, that's fine, but what else is going on with you? You know what I mean? It was just it was a lot to unpack.
That's a choice.
Yeah. So, long story short, I think I was like 26 and he was a student at, he was still a student at OSU. So, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fine. He was like 21, I was 26. Uncharted territory for me, like I said.
I know, good for you. Change it up.
Yeah. But he helped me like rewrite a lot of these like internalized inferiority things I had about like, you know, when you're like attracted to the jock in high school, it was very much that. So like we talked on and off. We had a couple like, you know, we had a couple moments together by this point, and it was like after a year, he moved to Cleveland area, and then he came back down to our house. We had planned a little, you know, after an evening together, right? So he came over to the house, and I was like, hey, how have you been? And he was like, hey, my mom died this week. And told me that after he came in the house, hi, how are you? Hug, kiss, how are you doing? My mom died this week. And I was like, the first thing in my head was like, why am I the person that you came down to process this with? Right. And also, like, let's stop all of the plans right now. Do you want to just sit down and talk? Do you want to talk about it? He's like, well, not really. And I was like, okay, do you want to just sit down for a little bit? Yes. Are you hungry? And then I like made him, which cooking for me at the time was like throwing some canned red sauce into some box noodles. So I was like, oh my God. I'll just make you some sauce and noodles. And he was like, okay. So I just gave him some food, watched him eat, and like waited for him to like, do you want to cancel? And then he just, like, told me a couple things about his mom, and it's just, like, this is where it blurs the lines, right? Because I did care about him as a person. Like, was he the most amazing person ever? No. I mean, we had conversations about, like, how he didn't think feminism was real. Which also, by the way, is, all like, kind of exciting a little bit.
Oh, my God.
I'm a very complicated person. Yeah.
Yes, you're like, I got this.
Right. Like, I want to have complex feminist discourse before we, like, get to the biz. You know?
Well, like, did he have anyone else to process with? Like, is it also a problem in, like, our misogynistic, sexist culture where men really don't have close relationships with friends that are men?
Yeah.
And then when they need to process something, kind of go to the feminine figure in their life or the feminine friend or the, you know, female presenting friend or whatever.
Yeah.
And are just like, you'll do this for me. You'll help me with this. Like, that was not your baggage to unpack. Those boundaries were just completely off.
Yeah. And on the other hand, I do hear that. On the other hand, I was kind of touched that it was like, oh, you told this to me of all people, you know? Mm-hmm, and then on top of that, it made me re-examine, like, what am I getting out of this friendship? You know, it made me start to ask, like, because on the other hand, he was from a very traditional background. He was, he was second generation from an Arab family. Being gay, let alone being attracted to a trans woman, was never even an option. Never an option. So he was the kind of person who would be attracted to you and have sex with you, but he would like never hold your hand in public.
Cool.
Yeah. Very cool. And so, you know, at first I was kind of like, well, Mama's getting what she needs. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, but over time, I was like, I don't think I don't need this anymore.
Right.
I didn't tell him that night.
Well, don't put it that
Could you imagine?
Good choice.
Right. But after
everywhere.
Yeah, after a little more time had passed, I was like, hey, you know, I think that thank you, and we're gonna turn a page. We're gonna turn a page to a new chapter.
And I think that's, you know, oh my God, it's so important, and I think it's so interesting the way like we fight for validity in like public spaces. Like I've been thinking about that a lot because like a couple years ago when I dated a man for the first time in a long time, I remember the moment he asked to hold my hand in public.
Yeah. And
I was a wreck.
Why?
I was just like, well, what if someone sees me? And I was like, oh. So
you're known. You're also known, Brooke. So it's like you can't ruin the like
just be holding hands with people with men.
With men, yeah. What are the gays gonna say?
Oh my God! I could have got kicked out of every single bi-weekly meeting, and I do mean bi. It was so funny. We didn't work out. Me and that dude who was friends. It was friends with benefit-ish. But I remember one time we were talking, and he was like, we were in a fight. And it was because I had more good professional or personal news happen to me. And he was like, I am so sick of this. Like, you have so many things happen to you all the time. Like, there's so many things to, like, celebrate. And I was just like...
Does that threaten you?
I needed a fan. I just was, like, so flabbergasted in that moment. And I was just like, I get it. But, like, what?
That sounds like a personal problem.
Yes. It was just like, this is not going to pan out. Like, also, by the way, who doesn't love celebrating even small successes? Like, however you celebrate. Ice cream, wine on ice cream.
That's part of what you do with friends. And so if the person isn't showing up for the friend part of Friends with Benefits, to me, it's not FWB.
And I don't even want to hold his hand in public.
No. Mm-mm. We have standards.
It was, and you know what? We were safe. We weren't around any queer people. It was Grandview. I mean, we could have probably made out.
It was just baby strollers, and they don't care.
I mean, they were just like, look at that nice, another straight couple. And I'm like, I'm not straight. We don't have to talk about
in the first place. How very dare?
We'll talk about queer invisibility in gender normative relationships next time.
Oh my God, we need to. Yeah, that's a great topic.
Oh my God, super, super light. No, okay, so what is like I don't know, that might be your worst Friends with Benny stories. That's pretty good.
Nope. Okay, so the worst story is the one that I promised I would tell tonight. It was the cliffhanger from last episode.
Yo!
Which is, I met a trash basket at Bossy Girl's pinup joint. I met a trash basket at a trash basket. I'm sorry. That's a hot take. Listen, Bossy Girls, I love you. I have many fond memories of Bossy Girls.
But it's R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
It's all water under the bridge, the collapsed bridge. So anyway, I was, you know.
The tea is spilled.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't even straighten my arm all the way. Look at that. Okay.
Oh, girl, your arm. Oh.
It's as straight as it's gonna get, girl. I always have to just kind of be like, eh.
You're a survivor. And you know what?
Who can walk like an Egyptian really well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, okay. So the first lesson let me start off with a lesson learned from this story, which is that
lesson learned, yes.
Post-show energy, when you are like high on life, you should be trusted for nothing. You should be trusted to make no decisions.
You will take home a shoe.
Yeah, you will.
The worst
choices. You will buy a food truck on the way home. You know what I mean? Like that's the level. So I was so excited. I was loving life. I met this guy at the bar and he was like, Brooke, when I say Dom top energy, okay?
Yes, total himbo.
Sound off gays in the comments, but that Dom top energy when you're like, you cannot like scrape two brain cells together to make a spark, but you just have the you know what I mean? And it was a few years ago when I was not so confident in myself. Mm-hmm. So to get attention from someone like that felt like validation, which I'm not too proud to admit, but it was what it was. You know what I mean? It was sort of like part of that compulsory heterosexuality.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, he was giving me the attention I wanted. We were talking, and then like by the end of the night, it was like, oh, can I get your number? Can I get your number? You know what I mean?
And
So
you're like, yes.
And I was like, sure, why not? You know, I was feeling invincible. So I gave him my number. We texted a little bit, and then like a day or two later, we had plans to get drinks at Harrison's. Which
yes.
Harrison's, that should have been like red flag 1 through 5. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
I should have thought about that a little bit. Yes, and.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I went to work. I had a cute little number on, not unlike this one.
Not unlike this one.
Not unlike this one. And I went to Harrison's, and he was telling me about his open marriage, which again, like we said on last week's episode, not a problem at all. You know, we are very positive about non-monogamous relationships. That's all totally fine. But he was like, this is where some of the red flags comes in with the couples who are looking for a third. He was like, oh yeah, you know, my wife would really love to meet you. And the way he said it, I was like, interesting. Okay. So tell me more about you though, because I'm not really like, cool, you're married. That's awesome. Let's get to you and me, because that's really what I'm here for. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes into the bar and sits down next to me, and then the two of them introduce themselves to me on either sides of them as husband and wife. Mm-mm. He did not tell me that was going to happen. He just sprung it on me. So I was like, this is where like, can I talk to your manager, Eileen, comes out.
Right. Like, how do you even get out of that absolutely terrifying situation that like is non-consensual? That is like that is so terrifying.
Yeah. You know that scene in the birdcage where Val is talking to Robin Williams' character, Armand, and he's like, are you mad? And he's like, but let me tell you why. That was the energy. That was the energy of the next 10 minutes where I was like, here's why you never can do this ever again. I was like, I don't feel safe right now. You did not tell me this was going to happen. And also, absolutely not do I want to be a part of this. You know what I mean?
Were they shocked? Were they shocked that you know?
They were plucked. They were fully plucked. They were like, I can't believe that you didn't. I thought you were cool. I thought you were down for this. And I was like, if you want to mess around with people who have like, all I'm getting from you is that you want to experiment with a penis other than your own. And if that's the case, the sex shop is right down the street.
Right. Like, there is a whole ass person attached to this.
I'm not your sex toy. So, anyway. Thank you for indulging me for a little bit of, like, righteous indignation there.
Absolutely. Wait, did you get a drink? Did you just storm out? What did you do?
Well, I don't remember the, like, who paid for what situation. I want to say he paid, but I don't remember. But I just was like, okay, I've said what I need to say. They kept trying to talk, and I just left. And then I went home and told you about it.
Oh, my God, I was so mad. And, like, even thinking back, I'm just like, oh, my God, like, thank God. Not that you would have, but, like, you know, like, thank God he wasn't, like, come to my house. Because he was that deft. Like, he didn't, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, my God. Like,
well, let me tell you the level that Brooke and I are on with Friends with Benefits. If I ever go somewhere to somebody's house...
Oh, where'd you go? Your video stopped.
Oh, there you are. What happened? My camera shut itself off for some reason. If I ever go somewhere to somebody's house that I've never been before, I will text you. All I will text you is an address and a coffin emoji.
Yeah, same. Like, we're always just like, I'm like, you're my call, girl.
Yep.
I'm like, what are we going to do?
If anything happens, you know where to find the body.
Like, we're so dark tonight. I love it.
We are.
We're going to wrap up with how to win an Oopsie-Coupsie mug.
Ooh, tell them.
Oopsie-Coupsie. All right. So all you have to do is post a photo on Instagram or Facebook, either medium. And you just need a hashtag Oopsie-Coupsie and a hashtag cover dish.
Yes.
And we'll keep an eye on those. We are going to do Columbus local delivery only because we're going to drop them off at your house social distance because we are a very, very mature organization. We're just getting
mature.
So let us figure it out.
Oh,
your video's gone again.
Hold on, I got this. I don't know what's happening, but we still got this.
I don't know what's happening. It's a dark night. Lots of things going on. So just hashtag Oopsie-Coupsie.
Yes. And if you want to, you can also give us your best Oopsie-Coupsie face.
I'd love that.
Yes.
Give me your best Oopsie-Coupsie face.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so much better than mine. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gone again.
Got it. We'll figure
ready?
that out later. We'll fix it in post. Yeah, I'm ready.
Fix it in post. Can we do a poll? Okay. My best Oopsie-Coupsie face.
Oh, girl!
So good. We're so sexy. So hashtag on Instagram
We're so
and
effortless.
Facebook all week, Oopsie-Coupsie covered dish, and we will keep an eye on it, and we will absolutely do local deliveries to Columbus or South Florida. What up, Miami? So please hashtag, and we're going to give away at least 3 mugs, but we want to see all of the competition and what we have to offer, and we are so excited for our followers. Please stay tuned. We're going to do this every Tuesday at 7. We're working on more merch, more logos, all the things that you obviously need from us. And Eileen is going to continue to dress like some sort of marine fish, I'm hoping. Marine animal.
Marine gala. Yes.
Marine gala. This is very scuba gala.
I don't know what scuba knit is, but I love it. It's really like a warm hug, but it's also very flattering.
It is a very flattering color, too, with your hair and your lips.
Yeah. Well, let me just say thank you, everyone, for tuning
vibes.
in. Yes. Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Tuesday. I didn't say Thursday this time. Tuesday at 7 on Covered Dish. And remember, love is love, whether you're single, if you're singly partnered, or if you're in a non-monogamous polyamorous relationship. We hear you, we see you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, y'all.